Alright, first review of the year, and it is a step up from Bird Box. So there's that. Hey there, Net Best Buddies, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm Ray. This is my new mic, and today we're going to be looking at Escape Room. So Escape Room is the first movie I was sort of looking forward to this year. If I put out my looking forward to list before this, you would know that. If not, there you go, a little preview for another video that's come out. There you go, preview for a video that I'm putting out in a couple days. The movie centers around a bunch of people trying to solve an escape room, which is a big popular craze that a lot of people like going to these escape rooms where you basically have to be locked in a room. There's clues everywhere, kind of in obscure places, and you gotta solve them. I haven't done one yet, but I'd like to at some point. But while I have you here at the beginning of the video, definitely go down and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the videos that I do put out. And the question in this video is, have you done any escape rooms, and which ones would you recommend to me, as someone who hasn't gone to one yet? Me, personally, pretty partial to the Saw franchise. So honestly, my first escape room, I would love to be the Saw escape room in, I believe it's Las Vegas. Just gotta figure out how to get out there to do that. I hope that one's really immersive. That'd be pretty cool. A group of strangers are given the chance to win $10,000 if they can be the first to solve a state-of-the-art escape room. However, they soon realize that it is not a game and their lives are on the line. Before we begin, I just want to let you guys know that it is not at all scary, despite what the marketing would have you believe. A little thrilling, I will say that. Definitely more scary and thrilling than Bird Box was. God, that movie. But it's basically a PG-13 Saw movie, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. So the good things that the movie has going for is that the performances by the actors are pretty good, even though all the characters decide to pick on the most experienced player just because he's super excited about it, and he's kind of nerdy. The movie looks really good, and the puzzles are a lot of fun to try to solve before the actual participants solve them. I will say I was legitimately engrossed when the characters were trying to solve these puzzles. And for some reason the contestants are playing for $10,000 in the movie, but in the trailer it's $1 million. So I don't fully understand why they changed that. That's a weird choice. So the movie has an odd structure where they show the last room, and then they have a flashback of everything leading up to it. And it's very odd because that just makes me not want to invest in any of the characters that aren't there in the last room with him, because clearly they didn't make it, which probably means they're dead. So why would I want to invest in them? My biggest problem is that after the third room, the movie devolves into such a terribly executed resolution. It gives you no answers to any of your questions, and it's literally the hardest sequel bait I've ever seen in my life. It's just so frustrating when you get to the end and you think there's gonna be some revelation about who's behind all of this. No, here's a trap we're setting up for the survivors who somehow have their, lives together 6 months later. Seem to be doing really well for themselves, by the way. And we're gonna set up another super convoluted plan to kill them for some reason. I don't know. So there are a lot of elements in the movie that just do not make sense at all. And the Saw franchise has this one particular one, but it's nowhere near as bad as an escape room where the mastermind has this inexplicable knowledge of things that just they wouldn't have knowledge about unless they were in the events with the victims. The best example of which is one of the contestants was in a fatal car crash, killed all of his friends because they were drunk driving. I think it was like New Year's or something. They were hit by an oncoming semi-truck, it sounded like, which I will say was a perfect connection between another character that they just completely wasted and didn't even use at all. Idiots. But one of the puzzles to solve, the password is Rudolph, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Why is it that? Because the song that the character was listening to when the semi-truck hit his friends and him was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which, sure, some super convoluted way, you probably could have figured out that, going through the history of a particular radio station that was maybe on the car when it was crashed, because why would they change it afterwards? You could maybe track down, oh, this song was playing at this time and use a police report to match it, but that's so convoluted it makes no sense. And how does he know this? I don't know. But back to my earlier point, it's the password to a puzzle. But the clue that they give is, you'll go down in history. None of the characters can figure that out on their own. They have to wait for this dude to be like, oh, it's Rudolph. No, as soon as we got in the room and I saw that plaque and they're like, oh, it's a 7-letter code, I'm like, R-U-D R-U-D-O-L-P-H. It's Rudolph. It's Rudolph, guys. Answer the question. So there was a point near the end of the film where I turned to my friend Christian, and I'm like, what if this is pulling a Shyamalan and it's secretly a Saw movie? That would blow my mind, because I love the Saw movies. And if they secretly snuck one out, like Shyamalan did with the sequel to Unbreakable, that would be crazy. Or an even farther stretch, what if it was a prequel to Cabin in the Woods, where the secret organization is trying to kill people in a different way? Maybe this was like a failed experiment that another country still saved the world and kind of led into that. That would be cool. Sadly, it's neither of those things. I wasn't expecting a lot from this one, but the solid start and development over the course of the first couple rooms had me really excited for what eventually became somewhat of a letdown. Escape Room gets a 6 out of 10. And I will say that's only because I liked 60% of the escape rooms. There's 5 of them, so I mean, you take 2 away, you get 60%. Another potential negative, and it has nothing to do with the film itself, is that the audience is going to want to try to solve these rooms before the actual contestants, and people are going to talk out loud, which is annoying. Looking at you, Christian. God help me if I would have saw this with Amanda or her mom. That would have sent me insane. 2 seats down from me, there was probably like a 12-year-old kid. I think he was there with his older brother by the sound of their voices, but he just looks at his brother during the frozen lake scene, and he goes, "A shark's gonna erupt from that water and eat one of them. Watch." I'm sitting there like, I get the movie's kind of dumb in a certain way, but there's no way a shark would jump out of that water. It just wouldn't make sense. So that's my review for Escape Room. It wasn't terrible. It was a fun time for the most part, but you could skip it if you wanted. It's not a bad start to the year as far as movies go by any means. So as always, thanks for watching the video. It means a great deal continuing to watch the content that I put out. Like I said before, definitely go down and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the videos that I do put out. Give the video a like, share with a movie-loving friend, and let me know what escape rooms you've either tried or think I should try. Or if you've done the Saw room, let me know how good that is, please. I would love for someone to review it for me in the comments down here. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.